3:45.
Yeah, I
4 o'clock
couldn't.
in the morning.
I didn't sleep at all this night. So let's see how long I will survive.
God, cat.
couldn't sleep. Was too excited to see all you guys.
Aw.
Maybe, I don't know.
Let's go with that. Oh, look at that.
We're already live, are we?
We are. I see us on the YouTube.
Yeah.
At least I think we are. Oh, there are 4 people watching, so. Uh-oh, I'm not hearing Matt. Matt is muted.
No, yeah, he's muted, and he doesn't. I think he doesn't know that he is.
Sorry, guys. I apparently was talking to myself, but it has been quite a while since I've done this, and I have apparently not prepared.
Oh, awesome.
I am sending a tweet out right now with the link to the video, and then we'll go ahead and do the intro. So anybody who's watching, I apologize for my slowness, I guess. We'll go with that.
Oh, you got 1 in the chat already, I see.
Hey. NLTMW.
Yep. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
It's really great to see that my video quality is better than it used to have been.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was great to see us. I'm like, oh, it's great to see
I was like,
you.
The same thing. I was getting ready to be like, oh, Kat, I miss you too. But no, her video quality is better.
Oh, no.
Video quality is better.
All right, guys, I'm almost ready.
No worries. And yes, Mike, you can put me in a timeout because you get the little wrench and I don't. Go ahead, put me in a timeout. Watch me unleash my wrath while I'm on video and can say things freely. Although, then I guess Matt can probably mute me.
I gave up on that.
I already said that I was sleepless this night just because I was looking forward to seeing you. Did I? The second thing.
Well, to be fair, Kat, you said you thought that's why it was. There's clarity there.
All right. I think I'm finally situated and ready to go. Leave it to the host to delay everything. Okay. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Friday 3D Printing Community Hangout. It has been quite a while, which is obvious by my hiccups here tonight, being muted when we started and not having my windows all situated. So, as everybody knows, this weekend is the virtual East Coast RepRap Festival. And of course, we would all love to be there in person and get to see everybody and socialize. But one of the coolest things that I like about VERRF and MRF is it brings the community together. And it's not even so much about the event itself for me. It's about seeing a lot of my friends that I've met through the Friday 3D Printing Community Hangout on Twitter, on Facebook, and meeting new people as well. A lot of times putting a face to a username online, it's all about the social aspect for me. And that's what the Friday night hangouts are about. And that's what Friday nights at Earth are always about, is getting set up as quick as you can so we can all get together and go out to dinner and hang out till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and just talk. So without further ado, we're going to let everybody go through and introduce themselves. And of course, we have Nick and Vicky from the Earth crew to let us know a little bit about what we can expect this weekend and what kind of the format is for the virtual show. So Kat, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll go into Nick and Vicky.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cat3D on Twitter and YouTube, and my real name is Katja. I live in Liechtenstein, and yeah, recently I haven't been very active because I had lots of going on in my private life, but I hope to get back into it now. And I want to say one positive thing about my hobby is that I was able to make a full-time my day job out of it. And now I switched from being a dental instructor to working in the R&D of the company I've been working for over 20 years and at additive manufacturing. Yeah, so that's really cool.
That is super cool, Kat.
That is really cool. All right. Next up, we'll do Vicky.
Okay. Hi, I'm Vicky Soma. I have a sparsely updated YouTube station. Particularly this year, I've done one whole video in 2020. All right. So, but I have been active and attending all the Earth Board meetings. And as Matt mentioned, this is our Earth weekend. And I think if you were coming in as an attendee, you might have seen me early on because I would be working the registration desk and helping getting you in and getting you situated. But since we're going virtual this year, I guess you're seeing me right now, like a registration desk. Hi, welcome, and we're glad you're here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be live streaming on 2 different channels. And our first channel is going to be our sponsors and exhibitors. And so here we're just going to try to emulate, you going through the floor and just getting a glimpse of all the different various projects and all the different new releases that the sponsors are doing. We are extremely lucky to have Shane from the 1440 Makers hosting our sponsor and exhibitors channel. So he's going to help keep things running. And throughout the weekend, we'll have some guest hosts like Andrew Sink, formerly from 3D Central. And we'll also have Walter from Country 3D. So, we'll see a variety of faces. And as we go out through the day, our different sponsors are, going to come on and talk about their products and what's new with them. And then we're going to intersperse it with our exhibitors, our community members showing their projects, which is the part that I'm looking most forward to. Our second channel is going to be the traditional build platform or speaking stage. And maybe this is a good opportunity for Nick to introduce himself.
Go for it, Nick.
Sure. So I am Nick Ange. Man, probably best known for being the spouse of Lauren Ange, a Buzz Designs, who for a while, long time, had a YouTube channel where she was showing off 3D prints and 3D printing stuff and doing some different stuff there. Has moved away from YouTube a little bit as the Buzz Designs business got a little bit larger. But much like Vicky, we never miss an Earth call, mostly because us plus Vicky and Chris, who's not on the call tonight, make up the Earth board. So if we ever did miss a call, it'd be interesting. As Vicky was saying, for those who have attended Earth before, you have probably heard my voice, and it has probably been in connection with the build platform. And the build platform is where we oftentimes offer our sponsors as well as some of our exhibitors, and then sometimes just guest speakers to be able to come up and speak about lots of different topics. Last year, we were lucky enough to get Adrian Bowyer as our keynote speaker. And I believe it was the first RepRap Fest that he had been to in North America. So we were super excited about that and thought it was amazing. This year, through the ability to go virtual, Although, as Matt was saying earlier, I'm very much a people person, just like Matt. I would love to be there in person, and I'm a handshake, hugging, kind of sit there and talk to you for hours at a time kind of guy. I miss that. Really, really miss that. I'm just waiting actually in the comments for one of our smart alecky individuals to comment on how I'm a wallflower. Anyway, I'm going off topic, but based on the fact that we were able to go virtual this year, or we did go virtual this year, to try to bring something to the community where we would normally have ERF, we were able to get Adrian back as a keynote speaker. So Adrian will be back this year and will be giving another presentation. And if you go to the East Coast Rep Fest website, you can see what he's going to be talking about. Beyond that, there we go. I see Vicky posting right there, the 11 o'clock speaker tomorrow morning. Beyond that, we have a number of our sponsors who have taken some time to be on the build platform. I know that Prussia is going to be there, E3D is going to be there, Matter Hackers is going to be there, Cocoa Press is going to be there. We have Slice who's going to be there. Oh my God, I'm missing people right off the top of my head. We've got a diversity panel. We have an educational panel. We have
Printed Solid.
Printed Solid. That's right. Dave's going to be there. He's in the chat and I totally forgot about that. Dave's going to be there. I'm not looking at the schedule. I'm doing this all from the top of my head, by the way, just because I've been so excited about the people that we're going to have talking. Uncle Jesse is giving a presentation. Print That Thing has sent in a video. Just so much cool stuff. And the beauty of doing it virtually this year is that we're going to be able to record all of those speeches, all those presentations as well. And at some time in the future, I'm not going to say how far in the future, but sometime in the future, we will hopefully have those all posted on the Build Platform YouTube page as well. So there's my spiel on the Build Platform. Vicky, what did I miss?
Not so much, but I missed something. When I was talking about our sponsor and exhibitors channel, I never told you when we're going to start. So if you go to our website right now, we do have schedules where you can skim down and find the names of the people that you're interested in. And you'll notice on that schedule that the VERRF team, that would be me, Nick, Lauren, and Chris and Shane, will be doing a pre-show starting at 9:30 a.m. We actually may be starting at 9, but you keep an eye. If you're up early, we might be live streaming as early as 9. And then we're going to roll right into our first exhibitors at 10 a.m. And then as far as the speaking stage with Adrian, he'll be our first speaker of the weekend, and he's going to start at 11 a.m. And this is all Eastern Standard Time because we are the East Coast Rip Rep Festival.
Totally forgot. How did I forget? Scott from Marlin is talking. And then Paul will be talking about a project that he was doing with gardening and 3D printing at a school. And then we've got Chelsea from Chaos Cortec, who's actually speaking as well. She's got some time. And I feel like, Auto Drop 3D. Auto Drop 3D is also
Are you still
talking.
doing this from memory?
Yes.
Because I'm looking down the list and
Yep.
you're grabbing them. That's
I
good job.
think that's it. Yes, that is it, as far as my memory will tell me. There it is. There's my shy and delicate wallflower comment that I was waiting for in the chat. I knew it was happening.
Nick, did you mention the 3D printing and education roundtable too?
I did. I said that there was going to be an education.
Did you? Okay, I missed that.
Yep. Nope, that was in there. I think I said it right after the diversity panel. Yep. Okay. So, yeah.
So that's the build platform. You are running multiple channels this year, right?
Yeah, so I think Vicky had mentioned we're going to have 2 separate channels running. The first channel that's going to be running is going to be the sponsor and exhibitor channel, which is where we have taken sponsors from the previous years at ERF and invited them to use time kind of on the virtual stage to be able to kind of present what's going on with their company, whatever, you know, they're kind of doing at the moment. And beyond the sponsors that we've normally had, we've got a couple new sponsors this year that came in. So beyond incorporating the sponsors into the channels, that's where I think Vicky had mentioned we brought the exhibitors in too. So people who have previously exhibited at VERRF events or have wanted to exhibit, we kind of put that offer out as well. And we got a number of exhibitors who said that they wanted to show during the virtual event. So it's really difficult as we were thinking about this. You know, this decision didn't come easy, guys. For those who are watching the video, we meet pretty much year round. We do at least one call a month in November, December, January, February, and then oftentimes as we get later into the year and kind of within 6-ish months of the event, we normally kick it up to about 2 calls a month. And then as we get closer to the event, we're on the phone with each other we're on a Zoom meeting with each other, with everybody on a weekly basis, kind of planning up for it.
With
So I feel
a near constant Google Hangouts chat.
yes, and the near constant communication via Google Hangouts. And you know, Lauren and I being a part of it, there's a lot of conversation that happens in the house too. So this year, obviously, as we were having calls kind of February, March-ish, things were really kind of evolving around the pandemic that we're all still experiencing. And so very early on, we as a board kind of had to make a decision as to what the event was going to look like this year. And it was becoming pretty apparent probably around April that life wasn't going to be back to normal or normal as we kind of moved towards October, and we started seeing big events and big venues kind of shutting things down for the rest of 2020. And you know, we kind of kept our fingers on the pulse of what was happening in Maryland and what was happening throughout the country and throughout the world, and what was going to be possible for some of our international sponsors who make it an event every year. And we came to the decision that we were going to have to do something virtually. And I think we all kind of cried a little bit.
Not our first choice, yeah.
Not our first choice. I say a little bit. I personally will say that after that call, I went into my basement, found a really dark corner, and just rocked and repped for a while, because I love the people. But with that in mind, we immediately went into, well, how do we make this happen? How do we give people a similar experience to what it's like to actually be at one of these rep festivals, to be able to see as much as people often see it, to be able to interact, you know, as closely as possible, you know, in the way that they normally do at these events. I will say we had some really interesting and outlandish ideas early on. Like, let's bring everybody into Zoom and just do breakout rooms for our sponsors. And yeah, logistics and feasibility quickly became reality as we started talking about some of these things and what it could actually look like. You know, we had initially started with the idea of doing 3 channels and not 2, and the third was going to be, I'm going to call it an activities channel. Yeah, like an activities channel. And we had some great ideas for things to do there. The 3D Derby that we do every year, we were going to run that on that channel. We had, I believe during one of the meetings, I had tossed around an idea of, because there are so many talented creators, there's so many talented modelers, things of that nature, you know, wouldn't it be fun to get a bunch of people together and one person starts a model and works on it for 15 minutes and then drop boxes it to another creator or modeler who then does their flair on it for another 15 and then kicks it to another, and people would be able to watch this entire thing. And we thought, you know, that would be amazing. Again, reality sets in at some point when you're starting to realize how to make these things happen. And so we had to scale back a little bit, and we said, well, what is it that we really want people to see, and we want them to have that experience with sponsors. We want people to be able to exhibit all those amazing things that they're working on, because I don't know about anybody else on this call or anybody else in the chat, but it's amazing to walk through one of these rep events and see the different things that creators have put together, builders have put together, and just be in awe of it, and to get people to be able to show that stuff off. So that's kind of how we landed when we did. And then we started running into, there are only so many hours in a day. I think we've all probably seen the 1440 streams that Shane has done, and I admire that man for doing 24 hours straight. But when I started thinking about VERRF being a 48-hour thing or a 36-hour thing, I was like, ain't nobody want to see me in hour 38 with no sleep, all Red Bulled up, shaking ridiculously. Like, so we talked about and made the decision to shift to just staying at the times that we're normally doing the event. So starting at that 10 o'clock and running till 6 on Saturday, and then having our same, kind of Sunday setup as well, starting at 10 and running till, through the end of Sunday. And when that happened, it really became a logistical, well, how do we get all of our sponsors in and give them time to talk about it? How do we set the number of exhibitors and give everybody time to talk about it there too? So yeah, it was a logistical night. I don't want to say nightmare. It was a logistical challenge.
A labor of love, a logistical
was a
labor
labor
of
of
love.
love.
Yes,
That it
love of
was.
the community
That it was.
keeps moving forward.
And unsurprisingly, I've just gone on a little bit of a soliloquy here, so I'm going to let Vicky talk.
Okay. And what I'm going to talk about is talking with each other. We want you guys to be able to connect to a community as a community, and we want you guys to be able to connect with exhibitors that spark your interest, or maybe even our sponsors. And the way we're facilitating that this year is Discord. And so we have a VERRF 2020 Discord. And when you get in, there's going to be a variety of different channels. All of our exhibitors have their own little channels, so you could go and connect with them after you see them talk, or see their speech on the build platform. And then we also have areas for our exhibitors based on the categories. Like, are you doing miniatures? Are you doing practical prints? So you have rooms for that. And this is also an opportunity, if you're not an exhibitor, that you can share your work. There's picture threads that you can put pictures of your stuff in. So we do encourage you guys to jump into Discord so we can all sort of try to connect. And then a lot of people, I have 2 kids, so usually at VERRF, the real VERRF, I go home and go to bed. So I miss all the awesome printed solid after hour events and stuff like that. This year we're going to have virtual after hours. I think tomorrow is Makers on Tap. Is that correct, Nick?
It is, yes.
Yeah,
Makers
so
on Tap.
if you're still itching for more community goodness, then after the VERRF is over for that Saturday, you can go ahead and join Makers on Tap. And I believe they have Billy Rubin is going to be a special guest, and I can't remember some of the other people that they have. Speaking of Billy Rubin, one nice silver lining of us going virtual is we do get to bring in some faces that may not necessarily be able to make the live event. Nick mentioned earlier that Chelsea is going to be speaking on the build platform, and maybe she wouldn't have been able to make a live event, but because it's virtual, we get to see her in action. We have Tessa Nessie, Sparky Phase 5, who is currently in the middle of her Sculptober, the challenge where you're sculpting a different model every day. She's going to be one of our exhibitors and joining us. And Claire from the Make It and Fake It channel, she's on the West Coast, but she's going to be joining us as well. So it's a silver lining that we get to bring more of the community together this year.
Vicky, do you guys have a link to drop in the YouTube chat for the Discord?
I think Geek Tech just did it. Yep. Yeah. Which we should say, Geek Tech and Mrs. Geek Tech are absolutely instrumental in setting up that Discord, and
Oh my
especially
God, yeah.
this week with a lot of last minute requests. So we bow down and thank them for all their help. Just like the live event at the arena, we rely very heavily on our volunteers, and that's what's happening with the virtual event as well. So a big thank you to all our volunteers like Ryan and Carson.
Speaking of which, Ryan, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, I guess I could do that. I'm Geek Tech. My wife is currently downstairs. She's the Miss Geek Tech you'll see in the Discord, normally the one keeping me in line at the conventions.
Okay.
Ryan and Carson both have been so instrumental in Discord. And Vicky, I think you probably see it too, how many messages come through Discord non-stop, and you guys have been so responsive to everybody in the community. So Discord, for those who haven't been part of the VERRF Discord yet, has been amazingly set up so that all the sponsors have their own Discord channels and all the exhibitors have spaces to go. And then it's broken down into different interests within, like tool changers and all kinds of stuff. And Ryan and Carson have been phenomenal in getting that set up with the influx of people who have come in and asked for different things, and they have been on it. So I personally want to say, I think I've said it on Discord, but it may have gotten lost in God knows how many messages. But I want to say thank you, just like Vicky. I want to echo what Vicky was saying for the work that you guys have been doing around it.
Oh
So.
yeah, it's no problem. We actually had to because there was such a massive influx at one time. We had to grab a couple of our friends who've been admins on Discord before. You'll see them in the chats on Discord. Tony and Wayne have been a massive help to help get everybody situated, because one of the main things that we like about VERRF and any maker convention in general is the fact of people being able to talk at booths to sponsors and stuff like that. We didn't want that to go away. We wanted people to be able to do that. So when we created all these channels, we were going under the concept of people still having that walk-up experience, to be able to talk to the people that are in there, so they could jump in the chat, ask questions. The sponsors that have their individual channels can stream right there in their own Discord channels. They can show stuff off inside there and explain things and give examples. I mean, it was a really good idea when Chris approached us about it, because we did the VERRF Discord last year to try to alleviate some of Chris's stress. So that was kind of like, and he had approached us this year because he was like, yeah, we're going virtual. We loved it last year. Let's see if we could do more with it. And sure, no problem. I've got no problem doing it. We love this community, and VERRF is like our Christmas, to be honest. So it's great. I'm glad that it's actually showing so many people are getting the interest of being in here. There was conversations last night, people asking questions. There was 3 or 4 different chat rooms, and people weren't even loading in yet. People are asking questions about different print styles. There was somebody who was talking about resin printing and then doing molding for brass and pewter and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it's already getting used. It's great.
Yeah, it is. I will say, I try to, the notifications on the top of my phone, I try to keep that clear. It's my own little OCD thing. So as soon as I see them, I want to kind of like X them out, like, okay, yeah, I saw this. So many have been coming through on Discord that I'm at this point having no chance. I'm like, yep, okay, I got the gist. Yep, I got the gist. Yep, I got the gist. Like, I'm just gonna keep moving. So yeah.
Yeah, we had to, the Discord has been, with all the notifications coming through, you can actually go in there and you can turn off like the immediate notifications. So you only get pinged if like the VERRF organizers or the development or the admins ping everybody. That way you don't get bombarded with stuff. And we'll be launching the bot tomorrow morning that's going to be doing an everyone all the time, following the schedule that VERRF is going by to pop up a notification of, hey, these people are on the build platform. Come watch. I mean, this is, and we're going to try to keep everything going. So notifications are only going to get worse.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that there's a way to disable notifications with everything except, mentions, and I was like, I'm probably gonna have to look into that, otherwise I'm gonna be bombarded. So
right, and we've got you and Vicky and Chris underneath VERRF organizers, and that specific role can't be mentioned. Y'all can be mentioned individually if somebody has questions, but to prevent people from blasting the Discord with VERRF organizers all the time to kind of save you guys on some of the stress, we disabled that mention.
So appreciated. Let me just put that out there right now. So appreciated.
Brian,
I did see. Go ahead, Matt. I was going to say I did see that Chris came in. I was going to steal your moderator duties
nope,
there.
go for it.
No. So we've been speaking about the man, the myth, the legend. He showed up on screen. Chris, take it away.
So, hey, everybody. Matt, I couldn't not get here. It is my wife's birthday, but she likes to get up early and run in the morning. And that means because she likes to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, she's usually in bed by, 10:30, yes. So I wanted to stop in. I wanted to say hi. Ryan, ever since I'm seeing you face to face, it's been so long. It's been too long. It's been roughly a year. Thank you so much for all the work that you and Carson and Wayne and Tony are doing to help put everything together. It's an amazing little community you guys are building, in the ether. I see more and more people. I just looked, it's almost 250 people registered in there right now. It was like, 160 something this time yesterday. So it's really picking up steam. Thank you for everything in there. I don't think we could do this event right without Discord. We haven't done it yet, but I know it wouldn't work without it because that's the only way to connect the conversations together. And I hear more and more people getting into it, and I think after the event, Discord is actually going to get its own home spot on my screen. I'm getting into it. I'm moving all my other conversations there. I have to give Lauren credit for that because she said it first, and I'm clearly jumping on her train on this one. I'm liking it. So thank you for all your work there, Ryan, and let me know if we need another boost. Vicky, I sent you a receipt for that. But otherwise, I'm really excited for the event this year. It's been a long road to get here. A lot of decisions to be made. Honestly, there are points that I wasn't very excited because I really want to see people and hang out with people and do all those things that all of us are really craving to do, like we're doing in the background here, last year, shaking hands, getting close, looking at prints, and right now is just not the time for that. So we decided to do the very best thing that we could do. And I think everybody is looking for a shot in the arm right now, some 3D printing and rep goodness, and the community has responded in kind. I think we've got an incredible show lined up from sponsors to exhibitors and hosts. Bringing in Shane this year, Sam Old Shane, to be our main host. Matt, I don't mind getting on the camera for you here, but we've talked about it. This is not my thing to be on the camera. So Shane, he's a wild man. He likes it, and after seeing what he did with 1440 makers for, that marathon stream, I said, nobody perfect to figure out how to help us figure out how the heck to do this. So, the team, we all agreed pretty quick that he was the right guy, and he's brought a lot to it. I think he's resting his pretty little head on a pillow right now, and I hope he's getting his beauty sleep. But we're really excited to have him and Andrew Sink and Walter Gray and then Jim from the Edge of Tech, who did a little show with us last year before the event as well. So, and Matt, thank you for doing the show here tonight, helping get the word out, and just really looking forward to everything. There's a lot of good stuff that's going on there, and I'm really excited. I think I'll actually be able to see everything this year.
Yes.
I'll need 2 screens to do it, and I'll have the build platform up on one screen, and the main stage on another. But this is a year I'll actually get to see everything, so I'm really excited, and I hope people have fun. I hope they enjoy it. I hope they jump on the Discord and talk. And Matt, I'd be real remiss if I didn't say, I'm not sure if you've gone into Nightbot lately, but you gave me a good primer, and I've been off and running on it ever since. So I've got everything up to speed, up to date, and all thanks to you and you taking the time to walk me through that and some other things. So Matt, thank you so much for all your time and help in getting those things together, because without Nightbot and us, I think we put in over 500 words and phrases that people can't say.
Very interesting.
Some of them very interesting. It could probably make a cool show for you one night on a slow.
It wouldn't be family friendly, that's for sure.
but yeah, some of those were quite fun. But thank you, Matt, for all your help in pulling those things together, and always being a friend to the event.
Absolutely, Chris. If I was actually going to jump on Nightbot after the stream tonight and just kind of check over things. If there's anything you need me to check into, shoot me a text or whatever. That way, in case you jump off before I get to talk to you.
If you see anything funky, but I think it's just timers and commands. That's it.
Okay.
So I kept it really simple, and I think it'll make a lot of sense when you look at it. If you see something crazy, let me know.
Okay, absolutely. No, Eddie, that is not a challenge.
You know what?
Keep Eddie out of it.
Let him go at it. I want to see it now.
I want to.
Gauntlet is thrown, Eddie. Gauntlet is thrown.
So it's going to be an interesting weekend for sure. And Chris, I like the comment about you'll finally get to be able to see everything. I kind of feel the same way. Even if I end up missing it, I'll be able to go back and watch it again, which is kind of nice. You want to get specifics on stuff that you didn't get to ask something, maybe somebody else did. And between Discord, which I saw RC Maniac posted the live stream for F3DPCH in Discord for VERRF. I dropped the link for Zoom in there. Anybody who wants to join in tonight, I've been dropping it in the chat. Go ahead and jump in. This is the Friday night hangout. So, I mean, in true VERRF fashion, everybody's welcome. It's just like we're sitting around the dinner table at the restaurant. So you guys have definitely had your work cut out for you. This year surely threw challenges at you that nobody expected. And I'm excited to see how everything works out, and everything that you guys have told us tonight sounds like you've got it nailed down. So,
ooh, that seems overly optimistic.
Yeah, thanks for jinxing us.
You got it. It's no big deal.
Hey, I will say we have some confidence in us. We haven't done any of this before. None of this, especially at this scale. So, Matt, you'll be proud to know that we pulled off our first dual Zoom, dual YouTube live source stream, confirming through all the different variables there that yes, we can do this, even though everybody told us yes, but we did get a couple no's along the way. And then we got back to yes again, but we still didn't really know that we could have Zoom meeting 1 and Zoom meeting 2 paid by the same, account, going to 2 different YouTube stations and broadcasting live at the same time and recording, both of them recording in the cloud. So
did you do all that from one machine, or did you have 2 different computers running the Zoom?
2 different computers this
Two
morning.
different ones. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that would be like your one limitation. You'd have to have 2
Ye-
different places.
You need 2 hosts.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. Folks won't see us all in one place tomorrow. Nick is the king of the build platform, and Vicky is gonna help keep Nick's hair straight, keep it from falling out or turning gray. Oh, it's too late. Well, keep bald patches from growing on his beard, perhaps.
There we go. That works.
And then I'll be working the sponsor and exhibitor channel with Lauren and Shane. And then I guess early in the morning and then when the build platform closes down in the afternoons, we can all be together for a bit. But for the most part, well, my plan is not to be on camera a whole lot.
Yep. Yep.
Really not my stage. Really want everybody else, all the makers, all the companies, to have this stage. There's going to be I can say there's going to be at least one sweet announcement. There's going to be other marketing announcements from companies, and some of them are so cool that I was told that I needed to sign an NDA and have it notarized before they would even breathe anything to me. And I said, nope, I'm sorry. It's just not worth it to me. I'd much rather be surprised and get excited at the show. So there are going to be product announcements from several companies. One of them's pretty sweet. I can't stop, Nick. I know.
No, I know.
But yeah, there's going to be cool stuff. And I mean, just some of the things that I've seen, some of the videos that folks have submitted to show. They'll either have a video play or talk and maybe show some video clips. I've seen some pretty cool stuff, there. I saw a rocking pair of extremely stylish high heels printed in nylon. So there's going to be some cool stuff. Not that, I wear the high heels with, printed in nylon, but these were slick. I could see Nick rocking them out, actually.
I do have those long dancer's legs that are accentuated by high heels. So
I think so.
So what you're saying is for VERRF 2021, all the VERRF organizers will be walking around in high heel 3D printed shoes.
It could
Oh la
be.
la.
It could be.
Maybe.
It could be. There could be a fashion wing. Who knows? We could come up with a catwalk. But there's going to be cool stuff. So, I hope people come out. I hope they check it out, and I hope they have a good time.
Cool. Vicky, you had asked if Ryan. Well, yeah, you got 2 things going.
Yeah.
Either way you want to go with it. You had talked about the merchandise in the chat.
Well, give Ryan a heads up and see, because we're putting him on the spot. And then while he thinks about it, then I'll do my other thing.
The other one was, do you want me to say it out loud or do you not want to do it?
To Ryan?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I can read the chat too. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You guys are the worst at hiding things from people when you put it in the chat.
I didn't know if he was looking at the chat on Zoom or not.
Just gonna put it out there.
So either way you guys want to go with it. Ryan, if you need a minute, we can go over what kind of swag you guys have for VERRF. Or if you want to do the Discord right away, you can do that.
She can go on ahead. She looks like she's busting at the seams to.
Let me get you
show
the screen
off.
here, Vicky. There you go.
Okay.
All you.
So in the live event, when you come to registration, you get a couple things. You get a program, you get stickers, and you get a badge. We don't have a live event, but we still have some swag for you. We went ahead and we have badges, which, and shout out to our badge sponsor, Printed Solid. Yay. And then we also have these stickers with the unique, hopefully for just this year, is the virtual VERRF 2020 stickers. And so since we're not all convening in the arena, the way we're going to handle this is you're going to send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll go ahead and put that address in this chat to give you like a little scoop, a heads up. And we will send these out your way. In addition, we have, and this was designed by Lauren, who's not here tonight, but we have our VERRF Goes Virtual shirts, and also with all our sponsors on the back. I'm going to put a link in the YouTube chat, and you can see it better than you can see with me holding up on the screen. Yeah, we all really liked Lauren's design. The font that she chose was specific to just how we were feeling, just sort of kind of crumbling or, breaking from this pandemic. But yes, so the shirts are available on Teespring, and you can go ahead and order those as well.
And Lauren is currently indisposed at the moment, but she does send her love to everybody. So
Cool. Vicky, did you tell everybody where they can purchase the swag at?
I'm getting ready to put the shirt link in. Oh, I was putting it in the wrong chat, actually. La 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 la. It's been a while for me too. So I'll put it in the YouTube chat, and then I'll also put in the PO box that you can send your envelopes if you want a badge and a sticker.
I'll create a
SASE
swag channel
envelope.
for you too.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get a swag channel up on Discord, and the links will be on the Discord as well. I'll get them from Vicky here in a few.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I've got to earn my shirt some way.
I think you've earned a number of shirts.
There you go. So Vicky just dropped the link in the chat. So if you want to purchase your VERRF swag, there it is. All right, Ryan, do you want to do a tour of Discord to let everybody know how to navigate around?
Sure. I could definitely do that. So let's see. Let's see if it'll let me share my screen. Oh, maybe. Host disabled participants sharing screen. No.
Try it now.
There we go. All right.
I was going to say, it shouldn't be disabled.
Okay, so this one's gonna look a little scary because I am an admin on the Discord myself. So you may see a few channels right now that you're not gonna see when you come in. So we'll hide a few of those. But essentially, the way the Discord works is you're gonna find everybody broken up. All the different sponsors are gonna be on the left-hand side of your screen. Each group is broken up into their sponsor level. And then they're just in there based on when they decided to actually show up in Discord. So if you don't like your ranking on the board, that is 100% your fault. But yeah, you'll be able to jump into any of the chats. There's Crealities here, for example, and you've got I Do, 3D Gloop, which I've spent way too much time here today. There is something that I will point out now. Every single one of the sponsored channels does have a voice channel underneath of it. We've been getting a lot of pings today from a bunch of people that are joining in saying they can't talk immediately. That is by design. It's not against anybody, but we don't want this to devolve completely into chaos right out of the gate. So the only people that have active speaking roles inside of the voice chats are the sponsors themselves. Worry not, because those sponsors also have the power to unmute you so that you can talk and ask questions and they can answer you. They also have priority speaker inside of those roles. So if any of the sponsors are talking, they're going to override everybody else's voice in the channel. That way, anybody that's in there that may be talking, they're still going to be able to hear what the sponsors have to say. Not that everybody's not important, but we want to make sure that the sponsors have a chance to be heard clearly. I think that's kind of important. But each one of the sponsors has a channel. Some people have 2 or 3 different chat channels for text. You'll see those going down through. A couple of the maker spaces specifically that are on the sponsor list have a couple of different channels. Those are specifically so they can handle different types of questions or chats or pictures or whatever that has directly to do with their group. I know that I've heard that a couple of the a couple of the spaces are planning on doing virtual tours of their makerspace. I don't know if that's still up in the air or not yet, but I know it's coming.
I know IC3D is planning on it.
IC3D is doing a virtual tour
Yep.
of their space? Okay.
Yep.
The wife has arrived. Now, those of you who are exhibitors, it's there's going to be several different channels for you guys that you'll be able to really contribute into the control of what's going on. Down at the bottom, we've got several different categories for exhibitors. You've got practical printing, alternate materials, prop making, tool changing, resin, charity, all kinds of stuff. And there's specific channels in here, which I am really enjoying, are specifically designated for pictures, because I don't get to walk around VERRF this year and look at all the cool things that people printed. I want pictures. I want hundreds of them. So by all means, post up your pictures because I want to see them, and everybody can react to your pictures. So you'll get thumbs up and smiley faces and stuff like that. But it's part of that, part of the experience. I think seeing the tables and everything that people have printed is my main reason for going. The sponsors are cool, and I really enjoy that. But seeing all the stuff that you guys print is my favorite part. So I definitely want to see a lot of pictures coming through there. And if you are not an exhibitor role and you have a 3D printer and you end up in the Discord, we're going to have a picture spot down at the very bottom that I expect to see pictures in of your prints, because we're all a giant community here and I want everybody involved. And we're going to put a slideshow together later at the end of the conference that we'll play for on the Discord. So when people come by, they could just stop at one spot and just see all the stuff that's been printed out.
We also have a spaghetti channel for all the failed prints, because let's face it, 3D printing has a lot of those.
Yeah, that one's turned out to be pretty fun. You really don't understand how lucky you get on a failed print until you've seen somebody else's fail. It looks like, and there's people already using some of the chat channels and talking, so that's great. We're averaging right now about 3 or 4 people joining a minute into the Discord, so it's still growing while we're talking. If you do jump in the Discord, feel free to say hi to me, my wife, our admins, Tony and Wayne. Any issues you have at all, if you're missing a role or anything like that, let us know and we'll get it taken care of as soon as we can. One of the things that we are going to do, and is closer to the top of the Discord so that you don't have to travel so far down, is we're going to have chat rooms for the build platforms as well. So if there's any questions specifically related to the build platform, I'm going to dragoon somebody into paying attention to Discord that's there so they can see the chats, the questions that are coming through there. And our admins are going to be watching those channels specifically so they don't devolve into conversation. So they're just a collection of questions. And there's stuff that could be answered there or after the guest that's on the build platform comes off can answer if they want.
Cool.
So is there any specific questions you guys had in relation to the Discord?
If anybody in the chat has a question about the Discord, now would be a good time to post it while Ryan's got it up on screen.
Yes.
Just looking through this on my end and kind of seeing what Ryan's got on the screen, would be a good recommendation to probably get familiar with Discord, because there's a lot of different rooms, just kind of learning where everything's at in the list and stuff. So before somebody that you really want to see and then talk to after they exhibit or after their build platform speech, find out where they're at in Discord ahead of time, because there's a lot there for sure. Ryan and Carson have been very busy.
Yeah, and I'm working with Tony and Wayne, our admins, right now, to set up the schedule that's going to launch in a couple of the main channels. And every time somebody that's on the build platform or in the stream, if they're streaming and they have a channel, there's going to be a quick link to their channel that's going to pop up. So if you can't find what you're looking for, it might be there. There will be a way to help you get there if we can as well. So you'll see a lot of, let's see, let me go to the main chat.
And say, while you're doing that, Ryan, there was a question in the chat actually that said, are there any other themes supported besides dark mode for us chromatically challenged folks?
There are I do believe that within your settings, you can change through your themes. Where was it? Appearance. You can go light if you like, and it can get more compact if that's what you choose, so you're not seeing so much stuff. I keep it in dark mode because I've spent so much of my time staring at IntelliJ with dark background and white text. It's just something I'm used to, but it does have a change, and I think there's people that pay into the boost for Discord and they get some other fancy deals, but it is a free platform that anybody can use, completely open source. So, I mean, it's not going to cost anybody anything to use it. So, but yeah, you can go into the light screen though. It's bright for my eyes. And
Thank you for the answer. It looks like somebody's already done it and is commenting that it's much better for them.
no problem.
Maybe if that same person didn't have such old eyes, they'd be fine. Chris.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's the only question in the chat. If anybody does end up with a question, if you get a chance to look at it during the stream while Ryan's still on, feel free to ask. Tag Ryan. Are you in the chat on YouTube?
I am not in the chat on YouTube. No.
Okay. Tag Carson Lee. She just typed in, "Hey Dan." So if you tag her, they can hopefully catch your question, maybe answer it on stream or just answer in the chat, one or the other.
And if they don't, I will make up an answer that probably is nowhere near accurate, but it's going to be hilarious to watch you try.
I will back what Nick says 80%. I will give you a full 100 because you might come up with something like wild that I just can't reproduce.
No, I'll take 80. 80's good. I'll live with 80.
There we go. Oh, Vicky already typed the same thing I did. Vicky, I swear, every time you're on the stream, you are on top of the links and everything.
And hey, check this out. Here's a little news update. And this will be news for Nick and Vicky. Over 1,000 people registered.
Ooh.
Officially.
Awesome.
We're up over the 1,000 mark.
Now, hold on.
Wow.
Wasn't it Monday when we had a call? We were at 300 or something like that. So what? 700 people in 4-ish days.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And I'm going to give credit to a couple of our sponsors.
Yep.
Where we saw their first big spike came out. Proto Pasta reached out. I'm a part of their mailers. By choice, I buy from them. I like their product, and they gave us a strong shout out. I saw Slice Engineering also give us
an email from them,
a shout out. I know that there are a couple others, but yeah, there have been a lot of signups this week, and I expect we're going to continue to have more. And I don't think that number is really indicative of really potentially how many more people could be watching, because the registration, it's really just a nicety, and I'll throw it out here in case anybody watching hasn't. It just helps us know that people are watching, and it helps us show our sponsors and exhibitors that, yeah, people do want to see these types of events. Even if it's virtual, that's what we have to do. It still shows that there's the appetite that I'm pretty certain is there. I'm dying to see some 3D printed stuff other than my own. Dying. I'm really excited to see some new stuff.
Yeah, I think it's time for some inspiration, time for the community to come together a bit. I know I can speak for myself. I have barely touched my printers since back when we were all printing PPE and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, mine have pretty much sat idle. I think I printed one thing since July.
I'll be honest, Matt, that's kind of how I've been as well. I've printed 2 or 3 little things since kind of the whole PPE yeah, whatever scenario.
Yeah.
We'll call it a scenario. And I'm the same way. Like I'm starting to get a little bit of an itch now, and I'm like, I need a muse. I need some inspiration. What?
For me, it's the same. I also didn't, after printing all these face shields, I didn't want to print anything.
Yeah.
For those who wonder why,
Hello.
there we go. Hold on.
Nice to see you. How are your fingers doing?
You got to stick your heads close together and put the headphones on either ear.
No, she doesn't hear anything.
Yeah, so that's why I was
Okay, there
looking
you
at this side. I said I needed a muse, and all of a sudden
And
I
I
was
said,
getting,
what am I, chopped liver?
But yeah, I'm excited to see what everybody's doing. I know throughout the day I won't be able to tune in all day, but yeah, it's time for inspiration.
Wait, hold on. I'm looking at the chat, and we got somebody saying VERRF will make you itchy. Let me tell you, there is nothing contagious going around VERRF. I just want to, that comes from one of our viewers to the north, and I have no idea what's happening up there, but
It may, however, make you glittery.
oh God, no. No, too much with the glitter.
Nick, go nuts with the glitter. You're out of there. Like,
Well,
you're not gonna live with it forever. The new buyers are. It ain't your deal, dude.
That's a really good point.
Well,
Nick,
I just made Lauren really happy because I think I just pushed it over the edge for her. I can see the excitement.
Nick, you know as well as I do, it will come with you.
Oh, I know. There's no getting rid of it.
I would love to pull up a section of carpet and just throw glitter underneath it so that when they decide to pull up the carpet, there's just glitter everywhere.
You know what you got to do.
Why are you so mean?
Put it in the furnace, so when the fan kicks on the first time when they move in, it just blows out of the.
Oh,
I don't know if I ever told you guys this. Back in college, I had a running. We kept pranking one another, me and some of my roommates, and it got to the point that I put glitter in their air conditioning vents in their car, like in the spring months when they wouldn't use the air conditioner, and then they forgot all about it, and in the summer they turned on the air conditioner on high and just poof all over them, all over the car, and they came in and they're like, "That's it, it's over," and I was like.
That's horrible.
You know that they thought that you marrying me was payback because you were going to be stuck with glitter the rest of your life.
So anything else for VERRF that you guys want to talk about and let everybody know? Lauren, anything from your end?
I got nothing.
Got nothing? All right. Well, I guess with that, what's everybody been up to? It's been a while since we've had the stream, and it's been a while since we all got together and talked.
Got a puppy and bought a house?
That's pretty big.
No, the puppy's actually kind of small. The house is kind of big.
Yeah. Yeah, it bought a big house, so you had to get a little puppy, right?
Exactly.
Just to balance it out. What about you, Kat?
Yeah, so as I said before, I was able to change jobs, and now my hobby is my main job. I'm in the Department of Additive Manufacturing, so it's very interesting to work on stuff that might change the dental world later on. And
What
yeah.
kind of, I've been curious about that. I know like before you were doing like for caps and stuff like that. What are you doing now with, can you tell us a little bit about what you do with 3D printing or additive manufacturing for dental work?
You can create lots of stuff. You can create crown and bridge work. You can create frameworks that you afterwards press in full ceramic. You could print prostheses or teeth. There's lots of opportunities, you know. But yeah, we just launched a 3D printer. The company is called Ivoclar Vivadent. They operate everywhere around the world. And so we are starting off now at the moment with not so many materials, but there are many others to come later on. And yeah, it's very interesting.
Cool. What do they, so like prosthetic teeth, what is that printed from?
Wood, like Washington.
It's it's acrylic, you know. In the beginning, it's more like a temporary thing, maybe. Yeah, but let's see what comes later. Who knows?
Okay. Is it done like resin, sort of like resin printing with acrylic?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is so cool, Kat. I remember seeing that. I believe I remember seeing that on Twitter, and I was just so excited when I saw it and thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it took me 2.5 years because I was able to attend like a workshop, you know, to do a review. They asked me to just sit in there and test things and give my opinion about it. And my chef, yeah, he really liked what he saw, and then I liked what I saw, and then it took a while, yeah. But very happy that it worked. So
Cool.
never give up. If you really want something in life, never give up. Fight for it, and maybe
Well, and then,
hopefully your dreams come true.
the neat thing with what you're doing, Kat, is like what you're doing literally will change people's lives. I mean, like
Yeah, hopefully.
it is practical printing in and out.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's really cool.
that is.
Reading the chat, trying to stay up to speed with it. They
Yeah,
said wood
I've been
don't
doing the
peel out,
same.
to answer my question of what material.
Mhm.
I guess, Nick, did you want to address the one question that you did answer in the chat
Which
about
the
scans from last year?
Yeah, so there was a question in the chat from Amoose136 who asked if there's been any kind of follow-up regarding the full body 3D scans that were taking place last year at VERRF 2019. And after hearing from or being asked by several people, we attempted to reach out as well to see what was happening there. And initially there was some response around, you know, he'd just been really swamped with everything that was happening, and then some other things that were going on. And then the responses stopped coming, and we've had no luck in being able to outreach any further or get any more responses around it. I don't know of many people who actually got their scans. I think I only know of one who asked for the raw file. Yeah, and got that one, maybe two who got there, because I think Martin in Iceland was able to get one as well. But short of that, I don't know anybody else who got them. And
at this point, nor do I know anybody who's really gotten responses back from emails.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
So I think unfortunately for him, I think he may have bit off more than he could chew. That was a lot of scans, and I know I was one of them that had requested ahead of time. Him and I talked. I had him on F3DPCH leading up to VERRF to talk about it, and him and I had talked before VERRF then, about getting the photos right after VERRF. So I got mine and my wife's scans, but it was because I got the photos from him and I generated my own models.
Yeah.
Which I really, I feel bad for everybody who got the scans, hoping to get them, especially, you know, like the people who wanted to do cosplay and stuff with being able to sculpt right on their body stuff to fit them. Because I mean, like what I was able to generate with the photos was actually a really detailed image or model. Like my wife's, you can actually see her cell phone in her back pocket, stuff like that. I mean, like it was really super high quality. But it also took about a week per scan or per mine and hers to generate those models too from the pictures. So and I've got a pretty beefy computer to handle that. um, it's unfortunate. I hope one day maybe we get a blast of emails from him saying, hey, you know what, here's your photos, at least here you can do what you can with them. I know there was one guy that went right before us had his newborn. I mean, like, I think his
Oh, was
son or
it Todd
daughter.
Blatt?
What was that?
Todd Blatt from We the
It
Builders?
might have been Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, few weeks old, maybe a month old. Like, I mean, his
Yeah.
baby was tiny and he got a 3D scan holding him. And yeah, I hope maybe one day the pictures at least will come out that everybody can download their image set and go into Meshroom or whatever and generate a model. I don't know if that's how Martin did his. I know he's got some more advanced photogrammetry software than just Meshroom, but yeah, I don't know. I'll try to reach out to him again too.
And I can only imagine, because there was a line there all weekend long. So if you're talking about, you know, a considerable amount of time to compile just one picture into what would be a scan, I can't imagine how many people.
If I remember right, I think he said he did over 200 scans last
I think by
year.
the end it was over 300.
Yeah.
Was it over 3 by the end? So I mean, you figure a week a scan, that's a lot of time. And I'm sure he's probably
6
got
years.
more horsepower than what even I do to compile it. But man, I hope the best for him. I hope, you know, it was just overwhelming, and I know
think
he
that's
was
also just on top of his other paying customers.
exactly.
So,
Yeah,
you
because
know,
he
as
was
much
doing
as-
this as a whole business. So
As much as it was a really nice thing for him to do for us, we were also not paying customers. So
right.
I think that him as a business owner is probably putting those paying customers first, and he may get to the rest of them, but it's probably not a priority, especially if he's busy.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely.
I'm not even sure if he got around to being a fully up business, because he worked a day job, and I know he had won an incubator kind of deal for that, for the state of West Virginia. And it was it got him some space and it got him some money. I know it helped him get some of the equipment that he needed to finish it. But I'm not sure if he ever got it up into the business. And I remember originally he was considering, charging, a cheap, 10, $20 for a scan, which is still a heck of a deal if you got it. But I can remember like a week or so before, he's like, Chris, I don't want to charge. I'm just going to do this for free. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Are you still coming? Oh yeah, I'm definitely coming. I just, this is practice for me, and I don't want to charge. And he did say, he's like, he was afraid that he might get slammed with a lot. And if at least he had the sense to realize if he took money, even if it were, $10, he'd have people banging down his door.
So while we were talking about it, I pulled up his Twitter account. Hasn't been much activity there, and his website is the same as what it had been a year ago. Again, I hope the best for him.
Yeah.
I really do. And like Lauren said, maybe one day the scans will come out. hopefully it is that he's just that overwhelmed with paying customers. And I know his rig being at Earth was kind of to put it to the test sort of deal, was why he really wanted to get it there and do it, was to put everything to the test. So
You can see it over one of my shoulders, maybe that shoulder. That's
Yeah.
tricky.
Yep.
yeah, you can see the glow from it, the light.
Yeah.
I do see it.
Yeah, the lights. It looks like a lightsaber battle in the corner.
Yeah.
I got a scan of myself done at a meetup in Sweden, and I printed myself. It's so cool. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's really fascinating to see yourself.
Yeah.
All the imperfections, yeah, what you like, what you don't like about yourself, to see right in front of you.
Speaking of scanning, Vicky, you had said about Tessa and Chelsea both doing the Sculptober
Mhm.
thing. Did you see Andrew Sink is doing?
Yeah, he's doing a
Scantober?
Scantober. Yeah.
And he's like featuring different 3D scanning apps with 3D printing in mind, of course, that you can use on your iPhone, Android phones. So he's, I think, 2 videos this week he released about different scanning apps. So that's something, if you got the scan done, doing a full body scan with a cell phone is going to be quite a bit more difficult. But if you want to have a scan of like your head to do helmets and stuff like that, or other parts of your body, maybe take a look at those.
Family friendly.
I know. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, take a look at Andrew Sink on YouTube. He's been featuring some scanning apps, and I know he's planning to continue to throughout this month. So might give you a way to get what you need. So what's everybody else? Vicky, no videos on YouTube. So what have you been
One
up to?
video. I did one
You
video.
did. That's true.
In
Yeah.
2020 about all the things I didn't make a video in 2019. That was my one video. I would say, March with the pandemic, I have 2 young boys, so a lot of my time went to helping with the virtual schooling, and I still have my day job. So like a lot of the others are expressing, I printed some face shields, and then I just had like a lull, like where I wasn't printing or modeling at all. And what helped entice me out of that lull was Lauren. We were having a meeting, and I was expressing like, I'm not even, I'm like, I should be building up my Etsy inventory for the holiday season. And Lauren said, yes, the struggle bus is really hard. And I like the free struggle bus, but having someone else acknowledge that, I don't know, just having someone else acknowledge that it was difficult, that helped me the next day or the next weekend to go and turn on the printer and start printing again. And I just started diving back into designing again. Just my niece was having a birthday, and we couldn't make it, of course, but she's also doing the remote schooling. And you've seen some people who do they put something on top of their computer with a mirror, so the teachers can see what's on the screen. And my niece likes unicorns, so I got really hacky at the end, but I got her a unicorn document mirror, and she likes it. But there's glue everywhere, and the arms that I printed didn't work, so I had to use pipe cleaners and like quickly design little hoofs to put on top of the pipe cleaners. So but it was fun again to do that, to be creative and do the problem solving, even though, it wasn't to the quality that I wanted. It was still fun to do the problem solving and everything. So, but for the most part, all my 3D printing trainings, they were canceled, which is fine. It was actually, when they called me and they were so apologetic, like they're feeling like they're taking money away from me, but I was so relieved that I didn't have to come up with, courses and slides and everything in the midst of all of this. And I think, and a little part of it has been nice to not have, I don't know, to have less things to think about a little bit. It's been nice, but it's nice to get back. Oh, I have a Cheez-It analogy too. some things in this pandemic, my family, we did not realize that we missed. We live with my mom. So we're a multi-generation home. So we're still being very stringent with the social distancing and everything like that. And, like one day we went and we got Wendy's pickup and we forgot, like, oh my God, French fries are so amazing. But the biggest one was one day my husband bought Cheez-Its. And everybody went crazy. We're like, oh my God, Cheez-Its. Like, we had no idea how much we missed Cheez-Its. And like this upcoming, like as we got closer and closer to VERRF and, meeting with the exhibitors and meeting with the sponsors and doing this, and doing the test YouTubes, all of a sudden I realized like, oh my God, I miss this community. I miss this community so much, just like the Cheez-Its. So Cheez-It analogy.
So we're all Cheez-Its in your world, Vicky?
Which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Okay.
At least she likes Cheez-Its.
Right?
Nick and Lauren, what have you guys been up to?
Yeah. So we obviously the pandemic changed a lot of things, and for me it meant I wasn't traveling nearly as much as I used to. I was supposed to be in Sydney in June, and then again in July, and then it was going to be in September. And with not being able to travel anywhere, and my other business is in New York, so I wasn't going there. We decided it was the appropriate time to get another dog. And so now we have a puppy, Ro, who is sleeping comfortably next to our bigger dog, Morgan. They love each other, and that's a good thing.
Mhm.
So she has taken up a fair amount of time. And then we decided, September, like there's nothing going on. It's not like VERRF is being planned for or coming around. We should probably buy a new house as well. So we went ahead and did that. And so now we're in the process of packing and getting ready to move at the end of the month. And then because that wasn't enough, Lauren decided it would be a great idea to have like a shop blowout sale.
I'm closing down a Buzz Designs, which is very hard to do, but making Disney things wasn't making me happy anymore. So I decided it was important to not do something if it wasn't making me happy. That's one thing I have learned during this pandemic is if I'm doing something, I better enjoy it because, life is short. And so I decided I would shut down my shop, but I have a lot of really, really loyal customers who have been waiting for me to release certain things. So I decided I would be the awesome shop owner and I would just open up the entire shop to unlimited sales until Saturday. And in doing that, I got a quarter of my last year's sales in 10 days. Wow. And I am very, very overwhelmed. Every time I get under 70 orders, I get really excited. And then within a couple of days, I'm back up to 90 orders again.
Wow.
So I'm super, super overwhelmed and feeling like I'm drowning. But Saturday is the last day for people to order. And then at that point, at least the number will not continue to go up anymore. So it's been a little crazy.
In the 3D printing world, I've been working on a 500 by 500 by 500 printer forever. And back in April, the goal was I was going to do it on vacation. And then the stupid pandemic hit. And so I spent no time working on the printer and all time printing PPE. So that never happened.
And then during the second vacation, we were fixing our house.
In the meantime, though, our minis came in and we did a mini build off, which was fun. I would like to point out that somebody who has built multiple Prussias before lost to somebody who had never built a Prusia.
Okay, but my Benchy got started first.
It doesn't matter.
Your build was done first, but my printer was started
My build was done first, and my Haribos were gone first. Therefore, I win. If it's a best out of 3, you had 1, I had 2. Victory. So that's been up, and the minis got done. I got to play with an Ender 3. I know everybody else has played with Ender 3s at this point, but got to play with an Ender 3 a little bit. A former coworker couldn't get it up and running, so shipped it to me, and we got that going, which was fun. What else? Done some practical. Chris inspired me to print a Legolini, sliding Legolini, which got done and has been used. There've actually been a lot of. I printed some hangers for kayaks, our kayaks in our shed. A lot of practical printing stuff's been done recently. I decided the pandemic was a great time to take up archery, and so printed different parts for my bow or different things to kind of hold arrows. I'm going
Quiver?
What's that?
Quiver?
No. Well, yes, actually. So I've got in the backyard, I've marked off 10 yards, 20 yards, and 25 yards. And at each one of those, I 3D printed an arrow holder for 6 arrows. So now that I can just go from each one and pick the arrows up and shoot at the target in a fairly quick fashion. Yeah, so a lot of practical printing stuff that's actually occurred. And I don't know where West Coast Chris went, but he would enjoy that, which might be why I'm saying it. I don't want to say it when he's on the screen to actually let him know that I am practically printing. I'll just hold that closer to my vest. So, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't respond to me a while ago. I think
he did
drive by
say
is
that a
gone.
little bit.
Yeah.
He was saying that he was jumping off. So yeah. That's where we've been.
So Lauren, with you, you're closing up your Etsy shop, and you also recently came to a closure on your project for work that you've been working on for years, right?
Just about 2 years now. Yeah, it's still not quite done yet, but it's to the point where we're open. So my day job, I am an operations manager to kitchen and bath showrooms, and we built a brand new showroom in Portland, Maine, and it is a beautiful, amazing showroom with massive displays. And I was the one who coordinated the whole effort, and it was a very exhausting 2 years. So that's kind of coming to an end now. It's just like the little things, hanging hardware boards and making sure that everything is staged to look, like it would in your home. All of my things are kind of coming off of my plate, and then we will move and more will come off my plate. And then I'm going to really enjoy a couple of months of doing nothing. I can't wait to sit down and read a book. Like I miss doing certain things like that I just haven't had time to do. So I'm going to try to find some time to do that. But I also have, because I did so much in sales in the last week and a half, I was able to buy a CNC. So I have some fun things coming for that. I think I'm also going to buy a better laser. So I'll have some fun toys to play with and to make things that I enjoy making, and maybe kind of get my little creative spark going again.
And I have the ability to go pew, pew, pew every time she says, I'm going to go use the laser.
Right.
Because I'm an 8-year-old.
Which CNC did you end up getting?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. It was one that Matt Stoltz had that he was selling. So we're going to live right near him, and it was convenient and good deal. So might as well, right?
Absolutely. What do you think of your K40 that you got? You said getting a better one. Is better bigger or
mostly bigger? I feel that it has some serious size constraints. Also, there's a couple of there's nothing wrong with it. I can work it perfectly fine. I make some really cool things with it, but it's not as user friendly as I wish it was.
What do you have in mind?
What?
What do you have in mind for the replacement? Or
I don't know yet.
Second one. Oh, okay. Still researching.
It will kind of depend on what my total number comes to at the end of everything, with how much money I have to spend. But it works really well, and all of the upgrades were fantastic. And there are definitely things that it will still be used for. But I'm just looking for something that's not quite as much of a tinkering machine.
Hey, Dave Randolph, I see you're out there. If you have any suggestions for Lauren on lasers, or maybe you're looking to upgrade one and want to ship one up to Maine.
So I'll pre-warn you about Dave's recommendations. I would have had to buy another house to put his recommendations in.
Well, Matt, it just so happens Nick and Lauren are buying another house.
It's
well,
true,
you
and
might
the
have to
house
buy a
has a
second
garage.
one.
We don't need the bed. The laser will be fine. I'll sleep underneath the handle. Keep us warm in the winter too.
It's seriously, I fear I'm gonna wake up one morning like in a Bond movie. Like I'm gonna wake up and the laser is gonna be coming at my feet, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh crap!"
Oh, God.
At your feet.
Lauren made the comment about all the upgrades to the K40 and everything that she did like right off the bat. And we were talking to Ray at Cohesion at one point, and he said, "Hey, do you realize that you hold the record for the most amount of money spent on upgrades by an individual who's not like a corporation?" And Lauren's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, no, you hold the record for that."
Yeah, I bought
Really?
basically every upgrade I could get, which has been great, and it's worked flawlessly, and every aspect of it has been great. But I just sometimes wish that I had a unit that was much easier, like plug and play, and
Right.
it's definitely not that. So for sanity's sake, sometimes I come up with an idea and I just want to execute it like that, and it's not that kind of machine.
And also, for sanity's sake, I want to point out in the chat that NLTMW said go to Lauren's Etsy shop and order more stuff now so she can buy a new, bigger laser. While the theory of buying the new, bigger laser is great, going to Lauren's Etsy shop and buying more stuff now might throw her sanity off the edge.
Oh my God, I've had so many breakdowns in the last week, I can't even tell you.
And she's not talking machines, folks. Not talking machines.
Mental breakdowns just from overwhelm. It's amazing, and I'll be honest, my customers have blown me away. I never expected this ever. So it has been fantastic. But no, I am excited to get new toys and to be able to creatively play with them without the expectation of sales hanging over my head.
Cool. Well, congratulations on everything. The house, the puppy, the finishing your 2-year project with work, and getting your Etsy shop to the point that you're ready to say enough. Congratulations on everything.
Thanks.
What about you, Chris? You're muted.
Yeah, getting late. Got to remember, you need to put a post-it note up on the monitor for that tomorrow, gang. Mute. So other than this little thing called VERRF we've been working on, I've got one more sliding Legolini. The purple is actually the galactic grape that I think, I'm not sure what Protopasta called it. What they printed at or extruded at VERRF last year, and then printed solids, black glitter, Dave, I can't remember, black soul glitter. It's your dark soul. It's what you should have named it. But that Legolini, they're always fun. I did some of these, get right in the camera here, the topographic maps, and actually threw a couple of those in my Etsy shop. That one was San Fran. And then I've got, yeah, get right in the camera there, the greater Chesapeake region, the home of VERRF, when we do it live and in person. So that was neat. And then we did a puppy too, or got a puppy too. Friend of ours does fostering, and she brought over a puppy and said, "Hey, look at this cute little puppy." And my wife said, "Oh, he is a cute little puppy. Can we keep him?" Well, it wasn't really a question, as I came to find out. So we got a puppy, and my daughter's going back to school, and she's having, a good time. I guess starting off high school, it's different. High school, I know, is a lot of fun for me, and the crazy things you do in high school that you only do in high school. So I kind of feel that some of those things are being missed out on. I'm kind of happy that some of those things are being missed out on, if I'm being completely honest. But other than that, work has been very busy. I've done a lot of housework this past week. I got a reminder that I'm getting old. I replaced deck boards, and now is not the time to replace deck boards unless you really have to, because the prices, have gone through the roof. I replaced about a third of my deck boards, and it was the cost of what it like last summer. I could have redecked my whole deck for what I spent to do a third of it. So don't do that right now. I've done some fencing outside in the backyard that helps with the new dog, and that's about it. Just busy with this, busy with that, not spending so much time in the car driving back and forth places. But that is all gone into a whole bunch of emails and phone calls, and on the VERRF crew, we were going every week there, and the past couple weeks, a couple times a week. So been busy with this, that, and the other, but good overall. I'll be really happy when Sunday night about 7 o'clock comes. Team, I think I might set up one more call and everybody grab their favorite bottle of whatever. And
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't drink.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Three Fingers. I think it'll be a 5-finger night on Sunday.
Did you do your traditional taking off Monday after VERRF?
Yes, I was actually off all this week. I almost didn't take off all this week. I'm really glad that I did, because things come up, and been playing hockey goalie, so to speak, all week long. And yeah, Monday, I can sleep in as late as I want to. I'm hoping that I actually sleep that night, and that the dreams, doing the in-person event, and this is just my opinion, the in-person event, I feel like I have a lot more control that I can exercise over things. I can go to the arena, I can see the things that are happening, I can move a table if I'm not happy with it. I can do this. I can ask Lauren or Nick or Vicky, can we do this? Can we change? There are lots of things that we can do and exercise control over. There's so little I can control, any of us can control in this. It's really, to some degree, we're at the whim of technology tomorrow. It's about linking together, like I said earlier, Matt, getting the Zoom to work with the YouTube, to work with the internet, to work with end user computers, to work with our computers. There's so much, and I've really had to take a grasp of that and understand that, and that was difficult for me, that I need to just let go, and if we've got some cancels, and the people that they were going to share the screen with, well, they're going to get bonus time tomorrow, because we don't have time to scramble and look for, and try to fill in that gap. We're just going to roll with it. And but I will be happy when 7 o'clock Sunday night comes, because all this thinking, all these calls, I mean, our little chats back and forth have been going pretty much nonstop. Every morning I'm guaranteed to wake up to see something I didn't see the night before. And, we have a good time doing it, but I think we'll be all set to have this one done, and really looking forward to the next time we can do it, and be in each other's presence. I think that's the big quote unquote payout for us. It's I like to see the people. I like to meet everybody. I like to see what people are doing. I'm curious by nature. I want to see what's interesting going on. And that's what these events do. So hopefully things come around sooner than later, and I pray that this is our last virtual event. If it's not, we've learned some lessons, but I'm not even thinking that path at this point. I'm being positive that next year, this time, Friday night before VERRF, we'll be at the oh goodness.
Somewhere.
Yeah, we got to find a new place because
It was terrible.
that was horrible, and they knew we were coming, and we told them we were coming, and that was just horrible in there.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, the best part of
Uh.
that was yelling over the music and the entire sound of the bar and getting people to hear it. It was good to yell last call.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I'll admit it, a little bit of PPE burnout, just like everybody else. When you ship out nearly 1,000 of those things, it's like you get tired of it.
I started getting requests again for more.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple as well.
I mean, all we were doing was the ear savers, but I printed over 8,200, I think is where I stopped counting, of the ear savers. And I started getting, in the last month, I started getting requests for them again. And I'm like, I don't even want to think about it. It's easy to print, but I don't want to think about it.
What made
Really
me
not
crazy?
a need to anymore. For those of us who did it in the first place, there's a lot of people that still have them available.
That's
Through
kind of my
Etsy or
fault.
through wholesale. And in terms of shields, they're now being mass produced in a much better capacity than they were. There's really not a need for it.
Back when this was all going on, back in June or late June or early July, Matt Gordon, former owner of Printed Solid, owner of MakerBox, he said it best. We were a stopgap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We supplied the market while the rest of the market tooled up and could then produce it. And like the ear savers, there's injection molded ear savers out there now. The face masks, like you said, Lauren, they weren't being produced efficiently. They are now.
There became a company in Maine who produced, I think, 750,000 of them in the amount of time that the rest of the state was printing them and could only print 20,000 of them.
Right.
So it isn't really needed the way that it was. And most people who are asking for them now just don't know where to go to get them.
Right. And that's kind of been pretty much my response at this point. I did print a few more on top of the ones that I basically had printed a big box full of them. And my idea was when they were gone, that was it. I was done. They disappeared. And then I got one more request. I printed a couple more because I was like 5 short, something like that. So I printed a few more. The next request, I'm like, okay, here's links on where you can buy these.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're absolutely right, Matt. It was, and I said the same thing to Lauren. I think we were always supposed to be a stopgap, not not a production method. It was until people could tool up and really kind of carry the burden more than anything else.
And it was also to wait and see if it was actually going to be needed in terms of companies putting that kind of production into place. And when that became a thing, and it very quickly did become a thing, the printing wasn't necessary. On small, like we've made a couple for his family members who work at hospitals just so that they had them as backups if necessary.
Right.
But that's kind of to the extent of what we're willing to do at this point. And mostly because the wear and tear on the printers was insane. The wear and tear on us.
Yeah.
It was just to have timers going on your phone so that you could run to your printers and restart them. And
Yep.
And none of the freaking printers ever did it at exactly the same time. 20 minutes off, and you'd be like, all right, 3.5 hours to get these done, and then we'll get another one, and then 20, son of a, there was just.
I have 6 identical printers. I'd start them all within 5 minutes of each other. Every single one would actually heat up and start to print at a different amount of time because, even though they're all sitting within 6 feet of each other, they'd start up at different times, and yep, exact same thing. You'd try to get it, so hey, I can come down, clear them all, and go again. Nope.
Yep.
They're individuals. They have
Yep.
a soul of their own.
Yeah, sometimes I think the people who had one printer and were printing PPE were probably better off than those of us with multiple printers.
Oh, yeah.
But
I printed mine almost only on the Prusa because the results were the best, and I didn't want to do too much post processing.
yeah,
I did about 500 of them. I don't know.
Yep.
approximately.
Yeah. I think when we were sending, I think it was almost 1,000 of
Yes.
the visors, and I think it was probably like 1,500 of the ear savers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And that was so. I mean, part of the reason that we could do that though, Kat, is because I work from home. So
Oh, okay.
I would wake up in the morning and I would start the PPE, and then when the timer would go off, like Matt was saying, the timer would go off. Like I'd put work to the side for the moment if I could, and I'd go change it out. And if I had to be on call, then it would have to wait until after the call. But every waking moment was work or PPE, and then we'd start them before we went to bed and woke up the next morning,
Oh my
pull them off the
goodness.
plates and start them all over again. And that's why literally from end of March until probably mid-May, this was every day. And that's why when Matt said, I had some of that fatigue, and that Chris said I had some of that fatigue, and Vicky's like, I didn't want to touch my printer again. Yeah, mid-May came around and the PPE was done, and we're like, all right, let's tune up our machines. And so
no way, no more printing.
PEI sheets got replaced, and nozzles and hot ends and everything were broken down and cleaned from all the all the PETG that had gone through
you
them.
You get the parts because everybody was
Right.
going through the same thing.
And then all the printers are clean and all the printers are done. And I looked at Lauren, I'm like,
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to print anything. I'm done.
I can't tell you how many times I've opened my laptop up and there's the slicer with a file sliced, and I just never sent it to the printer. I'm like, I don't need to go down and tweak it.
Yeah, I really disliked it when it got to the point that I was waking up in the morning, coming downstairs to the printers, pulling the batch off, starting the new batch, and then going to take a shower. If you know me,
Yeah,
the first thing I need
definitely.
to do is take a shower. I'm coffee for some people. I'm a real until I get that shower. You just don't
Me
want to
too.
be around me. And I knew when it got to that point, I'm done. It was bad.
Well, and that's just to give everybody in the chat who is a regular viewer. I mean, we pretty much all the regulars we got back in tonight. This is the first time I've done the Friday night hangouts in 4 months. And to be fully honest, it was because I didn't want to talk about 3D printing anymore. That's how burnout I got. Just was done. So I do apologize to everybody for the long gap in streams. We are going to get back to them a little bit more regularly. I'm still figuring out, what that schedule is going to be. And how we're going to go about it, but I definitely had to do this one. This was one we talked about, and it had to happen. But it's been nice talking to everybody finally, and we're not really specifically talking about 3D printing, but the topic's there. So it's needed. It's a good social relief, I guess, that all of us have been craving for.
Well, I'm going to go work on the VERRF website a little bit because I haven't had a chance to finish that today. And seeing as it's tomorrow, I got to go finish that before we go to bed. So it's nice chatting with everybody, but I'm going to go do that now.
So
Yep,
good
see you,
luck
Lauren.
that you get it done smoothly.
And I, at the same time, I'm going to drop off because it's looking like the dog's probably going to have to go out. So
yeah, I think it's a good place to wrap up for the night if you guys are good with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna be a weenie too. I'm a Cat. What time is it where you are now? What's it about?
It's now here
6?
almost 6, and I haven't slept this night. I was so excited to see you, and I have to go to bed and try if I can catch some sleep now. Otherwise, I'm going to be that all day long.
Well, you definitely go catch some Z's, snuggle up, throw an extra
Yeah, with the cats if they want.
Get all warmed up, and then catch some coffee later on and hop on the stream.
Yeah. Okay.
Kat, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Me?
Yeah.
Just Cat3D or Koshiba on Twitter and YouTube, and yeah, maybe in the future I will make a new website. I haven't done anything there, and yeah, so I'm definitely here this weekend, all over the place. Okay, so bye bye.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Kat. Let's see. We started with Vicky next. Chris, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me this weekend behind the scenes, not visible, at VERRF 2020. I'll probably be visible at a couple of points.
Oh yeah, you're on the schedule at 9:30 a.m. for the VERRF 2020 team, the kickoff.
Yeah.
And the wrap up at 5:11.
Yeah, so I'll be there, but yeah, come out and VERRF 2020 it up with us. Hit that hashtag. I would be tickled if I could see that VERRF 2020 was trending. My new saying is on Twitter and social media: don't like it, retweet it, and share it. Likes are real nice, but retweets and shares are really where it's at. So if you see a tweet, please, help us, broadcast it. It's a unique opportunity for us to give a really, really big platform to not only the sponsors, but more excitingly to the exhibitors, to have a world platform of people looking at what they're doing with 3D printing. That's cool to me. So thanks in advance, everybody, for coming out this weekend, and enjoy. I hope you do.
All right, Nick, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you.
Much like Chris, this weekend you're going to be able to find me on YouTube, except unlike Chris, I will not be on the sponsors and exhibitors channel most of the time. I will be on the Build Platform channel. I will definitely be in the background because our presenters are going to take the forefront there. So you may hear me or see me a little bit introducing people and then quietly fading away, which is something new for me, both quiet and fading away. In the morning, I will be on the intro, and in the evening, I will be on the outro. Yeah, let's go with that. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at VanFullaPuppies, VANFULLA Puppies, PUPPIES. Yeah, and it's been amazing. I've had a great time interacting with people on the chat and just being here talking again. I've missed it. So
cool. Thanks for coming, Nick, and thank Lauren too for stopping in.
Will do.
And Vicky, go ahead.
All right. You can find me at Twitter at TGAW. If you want to look at my sparsely updated YouTube channel and my one video of 2020, that is the YouTube /TGAW3D. This weekend, I am going to be helping Nick with the Build platform. I will be on screen at the exhibitors and sponsors channel when we're doing the openings and the kickoffs and the wrap ups for the day. And then you can also find me on the Build platform at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because it's the East Coast Rip Rap Festival. I'm going to be helping with Matt, co-hosting our education roundtable. So we have 3 or 4 educators that are going to talk about their experiences of bringing 3D printing into their educational environment.
Cool. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm Matt, of course. I've kind of like Vicky, haven't had anything on my YouTube channel in well over a year, actually. But I did start a new YouTube project. My fire department, volunteer fire department that I've been a member of for 20 years and grew up in. We just launched our YouTube channel this past Wednesday, officially. We put out a video that took 3 months from the time we started thinking about it to actually publishing it. That is a presentation that actually my mom started 36 years ago at the elementary schools locally for Fire Prevention Week. We recorded our presentation because with the current pandemic going on, we felt it best not to go into the schools to do the presentation in person. So we recorded it and did it virtually. Part of that, we also end up each year we do an open house at the fire company and invite the public in, take fire truck rides and all that kind of stuff. When we started talking about the virtual school visit, we also started talking about a virtual open house. So I'm tasked for the next year, all the way through the end of 2021 with doing fire prevention, fire safety, and fire recruitment videos for the fire department. So got my work cut out for me. We have no idea yet how many videos a month we're going to do, but I guess that depends on how involved we get with each of them. Other than that, I haven't been doing a whole lot of making as we talked about tonight. But I have a feeling this weekend is going to create that spark that's needed to get my butt in gear and start making some stuff. So that's pretty much everything for me. You can find me on Twitter at Country Cowboy and YouTube, youtube.com/howIdoit. And of course, youtube.com/Friday 3D Printing Community Hangout. To keep up to date with the upcoming schedule of F3DPCH, follow us on Twitter at F3DPCH and F3DPCH.com. Like I said, I don't know exactly what the return schedule is going to be like, if we're going to do the every 2 weeks like we had been, or if I may adjust that. I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of figuring all that stuff out. The one thing we do know for sure, Chris, you and I talked about this. We're going to be going back to our roots and where F3DPCH started. Not really having any specific topic for the night, just, as you guys saw tonight, I threw the link in the chat right on YouTube. You can join in the Zoom. Anybody is welcome to come. One of the things I'm most proud about this stream is this stream created a bunch of friendships and brought a lot of new faces into the community, and gave people a way to get to know each other. A lot of you in the chat, had it not been for this, I don't know if I'd know you or not. And then some of us met up 9 months after we started doing these streams at New York Maker Faire for the first time. And it was a heck of a crowd of us that just throughout the entire weekend, we all kept meeting up and hanging out. So we're going to get back to that a little bit more, welcoming, anybody who wants to get on the stream into it. Kind of like I said in the chat, keep it family friendly. But the kind of the rules that I had set in place before about, drinking on the stream and stuff like that, I still ask you, don't do it visibly. And if you obviously aren't being completely family friendly, you might get removed from the stream. But we're going to try to open it up to everybody and make it welcoming. So don't feel shy. I know I saw that fly in the chat about coming on camera. Everybody just wants to meet everybody and hang out and chat. So that's it, everybody. Have a good night, and thank you for tuning in. And hopefully you get to see some really cool stuff here this weekend at the virtual East Coast VERRF Festival. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Who knows?